Dear Heavenly Father, we approach you with reverence and awe, knowing that without your boundless favor, our lives would be empty and directionless. Like a bird attempting to soar with no wings, our hearts would remain earthbound, if not for the uplifting power of your guiding hand. We stand in complete wonder at the thought that you, the creator of everything seen and unseen, choose to pour out such abundant kindness on us every moment of every day. It is this sustaining love that steadies us, leading us through storms we thought would swallow us, and giving us hope when shadows try to suffocate our joy. Even in our best efforts, our achievements pale beside the brilliance of what you grant freely. Your compassion is the thread weaving our past pains and present struggles into testimonies of your ceaseless devotion. Time and again, you demonstrate how patience with our flawed decisions and gentle correction of our blind spots reveal a depth of affection that defies logic. Despite our imperfections, you remain unchanging in your warm invitation for us to draw closer to you. When confusion takes hold and doubts chatter in our ears, your immeasurable faithfulness becomes the compass that guides us back to truth. All around us, proof of your benevolence can be seen, whether in the quiet sunrise that greets a new day, or in the supportive friends who lift us up when life grows overwhelming. These subtle blessings, so easy to overlook, are actually glimpses of how carefully you have designed each facet of our existence. Every closed door that protected us from unseen harm, each open window that revealed a fresh opportunity, and all those silent instances of courage we never thought we could muster, testify to the power of your favor working within us. We are incomplete in our own strength, but through your ever-present help, we find wholeness and purpose. When guilt or shame tries to encase our minds, you answer with gentle reminders of undeserved pardon. You erase the record of our mistakes, offering us the chance to start anew. Such generous forgiveness restores our shattered identity, reminding us that we are valued beyond measure. Though our hearts might feel weighed down by regrets, you spark a glimmer of possibility, proving that no error is beyond the reach of your redemptive touch. We marvel at how deep your mercy runs, never running dry, never casting anyone aside. Sometimes we may forget the magnitude of your kindness, taking for granted that we wake up each morning clothed in mercy we did not pay for. We may even drift, lulled by distractions, only to realize how desperate we are when emptiness resurfaces. Still, you remain close, ready to embrace us when we turn to you in humility. Nothing can match the security found in knowing that you hold our destinies in your caring hands. From moments of triumph to seasons of despair, you cover us in a protective canopy of unchanging grace. We ask that you shape our perspectives so we might cherish this gift and share it with others. Let every challenge we face become an opportunity for growth, drawing us closer to your heart. Replace our fears with bold trust, silencing the worries that try to steal our peace. Where our human nature is prone to doubt, flood our spirits with fresh revelations of who you are. Help us rest in the assurance that we don't need to strive or struggle to earn your delight. Instead, let us simply open our souls, acknowledging that all good things find their beginning in you. With profound gratitude, we yield to your wisdom, inviting you to refine our intentions, correct our wandering thoughts, and renew our passion for righteousness. May each breath we inhale be a testament to how priceless your support truly is. We cannot navigate life's complexities on our own, and recognizing that truth drives us to cling to your everlasting strength. So, as we continue forward, let our steps reflect the confidence that comes from leaning entirely on your matchless grace, affirming that without you, we stand powerless, but with you, we can rise above every challenge. Let this realization anchor us in devotion, stirring our hearts to honor you in all we do. It's remarkable to notice how, even after acknowledging our deep reliance on divine kindness, there's another layer of wonder to explore. The way that same generous favor rescues us from the very depths of despair. When shadows of guilt or sorrow threaten to suffocate our spirit, it is this unmerited outpouring of love that finds us, no matter how far we've stumbled. We begin to see that every shadow, every corner of darkness cannot remain when confronted by the brilliance of heaven's compassion. Instead of feeling weighed down by our past, we receive an invitation to step into a realm where hope replaces dread and strength overpowers defeat. Sometimes, in a moment of raw honesty, we catch ourselves wondering if our mistakes are too numerous or our shortcomings too glaring. A whisper of doubt may tell us we've veered too far, that redemption is out of reach. However, there is no pit so deep that grace cannot descend even lower, carrying us upward. This remarkable power reaches into the innermost recesses of our minds, shining an illuminating beam that reveals a new path. Instead of condemnation, it offers a gentle hand that lifts us from the mire, reminding us that nothing is beyond restoration. It can be easy to view our weaknesses or failings as proof that we're unworthy. Yet this very awareness of our vulnerability becomes a gateway to experiencing genuine transformation. What once felt like an insurmountable weight can morph into an opportunity for renewal. In fact, those moments when we recognize we have nothing to offer except our brokenness are precisely the moments we become most receptive to divine intervention. The overshadowing sense of emptiness is replaced by the stunning realization that we are not alone in our struggles. An active force of unfathomable goodness is fighting for us. Reflect for a moment on the sense of relief that floods the soul when forgiveness is offered freely. Where regret once roamed freely, now a bright certainty of acceptance stands in its place. That shift in perspective is not a product of our own doing, but evidence of an extraordinary mercy that delights in our rescue. Ties to unhealthy patterns begin to loosen when we surrender, and destructive habits lose their grip as we learn to receive unconditional favor. Though our past choices might have led us into the darkest valleys, these can become the very spaces where the light of compassion shines brightest, revealing that no one is too broken to be mended. Through this lens, weakness and darkness no longer have the final word. Instead, they become the backdrop against which endless benevolence displays its full splendor. The same power that breaks addictions, heals hidden wounds, and restores shattered identities moves with grace, never forcing itself, but patiently waiting for our humble admission of need. Within that admission lies the potential for complete renewal, one that shifts our identity from prisoners of our own failings to grateful recipients of a second chance. Emptiness is replaced by purpose, and aimless wandering is transformed into a journey directed by divine wisdom. As we lean into this reality, we start to notice subtle changes in our perspective. Anxiety loses its hold when we remember there's a power stronger than our worst fears. Bitter memories release their sting as we discover that no stain is beyond cleansing. Even a single moment of heartfelt surrender can spark a chain reaction of healing that seeps into every facet of who we are. Each step forward then becomes a testament to the fact that our burdens need not define us, because there is a higher, loving promise at work. The deeper we immerse ourselves in that promise, the clearer it becomes that despair is no match for unearned compassion. Day by day, we see evidence of renewed life rising from the ashes of regret. Hope, once an elusive concept, turns into a tangible experience that invites us to breathe freely again. In that space of restoration, we find the courage to speak life where we once uttered negativity, to show empathy where we once harbored resentment, and to share kindness where we once felt incapable of generosity. And so, our journey continues, bathed in the assurance that the one who lifts us is never deterred by darkness, but instead uses it to highlight the radiance of transforming grace. Continuing from our reflection on how divine compassion can break through the fiercest shadows, we find yet another astonishing truth. Even with our many flaws, we remain cherished beyond measure. The mind may struggle to comprehend this paradox. We, frail and flawed, still receive undying affection from the one who knit us together. Each moment we acknowledge our inability to measure up by our own efforts, we also glimpse how vast and uncontainable His mercy truly is. In our limited perspective, we might label ourselves unworthy, but in the eyes of heaven, we are seen as precious creations designed for close communion with our Maker. Sometimes we carry regret over shortcomings or harbor fears that our mishaps have permanently distanced us from divine acceptance. Yet, that persistent inner voice reminding us of failure is often eclipsed by a gentle assurance that declares, "You are cherished." This remarkable kind of love, unlike human admiration that often depends on performance or success, flourishes in the midst of our deficits. When we can hardly find a reason to hold our heads high, that unshakable devotion chooses us again and again. The more we reflect on such unwavering benevolence, the more we recognize we had little to offer in the first place. Yet, we have been given everything. The scriptures overflow with accounts of individuals who fell short but were redeemed by relentless kindness. From a figure trying to escape the consequences of selfish decisions to another burdened by moral failings, each was met by a compassionate embrace rather than harsh rejection. Their pasts, though tarnished by human error, became channels for heaven's renewing force. These encounters illustrate an overarching truth. No boundary exists that can prevent the Almighty from reaching us with undeserved favor. Each story, however riddled with faults, stands as a testament that being valued does not hinge on our perfection. Think for a moment about the weight that lifts off your shoulders when someone believes in you despite your flaws. Now multiply that feeling by an infinite sum. This is but a glimpse of how fully we are received by the author of creation. Every scar, every mistake, and every bruise on our conscience becomes a canvas upon which divine artistry paints redemption. Our tears of remorse transform into rivers of gratitude, flowing from hearts that can scarcely fathom such acceptance. Even if we are convinced that our missteps have disqualified us, a luminous presence steps in to offer a fresh start. Day by day, as we grow more aware of this unwavering commitment that surpasses human logic, we're drawn deeper into the embrace of the one who never withdraws his hand. Striving to earn approval through good deeds or outward success pales in comparison to resting in the knowledge that we are already beloved. The simplest gesture of genuine surrender, admitting our brokenness and turning to the divine in humility, triggers a chain reaction of transformation. Suddenly, the burden of having to prove ourselves vanishes, replaced by the assurance that our identity is sealed by an everlasting oath of love. In that safe space, where condemnation is silenced, we find we can approach the Holy One without shame. Our imperfections, rather than barriers, become windows that reveal the depth of His grace. Hearts that once felt chained by guilt begin to beat with renewed vigor, emboldened by the revelation that there is no limit to the compassion extended towards them. There is a unique freedom in knowing that we don't have to hide our flaws or pretend to be stronger than we truly are. We can walk openly, comforted by the idea that every weakness can be infused with the power of redeeming light. As we keep pressing forward, remembering how darkness loses its grip when confronted by the brilliance of unearned compassion, let us also celebrate the reality that we are loved in spite of our shortcomings. If it were up to mere human logic, many of us would have abandoned hope long ago, convinced that redemption was impossible. Yet here we stand, living proof that a higher love keeps calling us toward restoration. The acknowledgement of our unworthiness amplifies the magnitude of His mercy. Our eyes become fixed on the One who sees value where we see failing, offering wholeness where we see only fragments. This ongoing journey reminds us that the greatest stories of faith arise from people who understood their limitations and invited divine love to fill the void. Each new day can be viewed as an opportunity to reflect on how much we've already been forgiven, how many chains have already been broken. It stirs a humility within us, prompting praise for a dimension of kindness that cannot be rationalized. And so, we continue onward with hearts brimming with gratitude for this boundless grace that calls us beloved, even when we feel the least deserving, knowing that every step taken in dependence on this truth ushers us closer to the fulfillment of our destiny. Carrying forward from the awe of realizing we are treasured despite our shortcomings, we discover yet another facet of divine kindness. It is not merely offered once, but remains a steady undercurrent through every stage of our existence. Though we face challenges that threaten to deplete our courage, a supportive hand remains extended, guiding each decision and comforting us in moments of uncertainty. This constant flow of generosity, unfailing in every way, infuses us with resilience and hope when our strength falters. What was once an abstract idea has become a palpable reality, illuminating each twist in the road and ensuring that no setback has the power to extinguish our confidence completely. There is solace in knowing that we do not walk alone through life's labyrinth of trials. We experience heartaches, disappointments, and even times of success that can quickly lead to complacency or pride. Yet, no matter the season, this unwavering presence undergirds us with a strength that transcends our limitations. In those moments when uncertainty crowds our thoughts, we find an anchor that keeps us steady, a promise that we never have to shoulder our burdens in isolation. It is as if a gentle beam of light follows us into every dark corridor, assuring us that no trial will catch us off guard when guided by a higher wisdom. Reflect for a moment on how certain situations can overwhelm our human capacity. There are days when responsibilities seem too heavy to carry. There are unexpected events that rattle our equilibrium, robbing us of peace. Yet time and again, an unseen fortitude steps in, helping us endure difficulties we never imagined surviving. This quiet enablement, though subtle, continually reminds us that an inexhaustible resource stands ready whenever we falter. In acknowledging that we can't fix all things on our own, we find a wellspring of power that lifts us beyond self-imposed limitations. In practical terms, we witness grace's influence in the restoration of strained relationships, or in supernatural peace that settles our anxious hearts when the world seems to be collapsing. Sometimes, a comforting assurance arrives through supportive friends, uplifting songs, or the right words at precisely the right time. At other junctures, we discover that challenges themselves refine our character, molding us into kinder, more compassionate individuals who can empathize with others' hardships. Each instance serves as a beautiful illustration that divine benevolence isn't sporadic. It is a perpetual outpouring, ensuring we're nurtured and sustained regardless of the odds against us. This consistency invites us to live free from fear of future mishaps. While some obstacles remain beyond our control, our outlook transforms when we realize that the one who holds tomorrow also cares for each of us intimately. In this awareness, anxieties lose their sharp edge, replaced by a calm assurance that solutions will emerge at the right time. We learn to lean into the solid foundation beneath our feet, confident that when our own resources are insufficient, help arrives from a boundless source. Gradually, we find ourselves better able to encourage others, passing along the kindness we've experienced firsthand. Even so, hardships do not necessarily disappear in an instant. We still face days of perplexity, times when tears blur our vision, yet those exact moments often become catalysts for more profound encounters with sustaining grace. Instead of viewing our pain as evidence of abandonment, we begin to interpret trials as opportunities for a deeper reliance on divine provision. Adversity shifts from a deterrent to a platform where faith matures. In that maturation process, we see how intimately grace and guidance work together, carving out pathways of healing where none seemed possible. Many lives testify to this sustaining power, often in hidden ways. The single parent who receives just enough resources at the right moment, the job seeker who opens an unexpected door leading to fresh possibilities, the individual battling loneliness who suddenly finds fellowship in caring communities. All these stories highlight that there's an ongoing thread of mercy woven into the fabric of our everyday experiences. The more attuned we become to it, the more fully we appreciate that we don't simply survive life's twists. We emerge stronger, shaped by a force bigger than our biggest setbacks. What starts to blossom within us is a sense of profound gratitude. Knowing that this guidance never runs dry, our hearts overflow with praise. We marvel at how thoroughly we are upheld, how carefully we are led through storms and triumphs alike. With each passing season, we grow more convinced that divine involvement is neither casual nor intermittent. It's an ever-present current that envelopes us in security and breathes courage into our hesitations. We find ourselves ready to face whatever lies ahead, bolstered by a love that consistently lifts us and offers fresh vision in moments of doubt. And so, we continue onward, certain that the same compassion which first found us in the mire now accompanies us in every step. Though we may not grasp the fullness of this mystery, we can celebrate that the one who sees our struggles also provides the strength we need. As this journey unfolds, each breath becomes an opportunity to acknowledge just how indescribably faithful our sustainer is, ensuring that no misstep, heartbreak, or difficulty can derail us from the path He has lovingly set forth. Merciful Father, we stand in awe of your tender care that lifts us from our struggles and holds us through every storm. Our hearts overflow with gratitude for the countless times you've carried us, restored us, and reminded us of our worth in your eyes. Thank you for your unwavering presence. We trust you fully. Amen. If this prayer spoke to your soul, let it inspire others by giving this video a like and sharing it with someone who needs God's touch today. Subscribe to our channel and join us on this journey of faith, hope, and unwavering trust in God's love and power.